I'ma dedicate this one to the hardest individual on the street right now. Luke Cage, you already know. Bulletproof love your way, brother. Let's get it. Listen. Man, it is what it is. Can't understand a man if you ain't live what he lived. Roaches in the crib, ain't got no food up in the fridge. Plus the crime running rampant and it's screwing up the kids. Sway admit, what kind of paradise is this? I just want my 40 acres and some carrots on the wrist. But the snakes is trying to gather in the bed where you get the cotton out, plucking ashes off the clip. Off the rip, now a challenger exists. Any bulletproof, shoot what kind of caliber is this? Got thugs in the store with the barrel on your lips, saying empty out the door before he pound you with the grip. Lord, who to call when no one obeys the law? And there ain't no Iron Man that can come and save us all. Power to the people and Luke Cage the cause. And the cops got it wrong, we don't think Cage involved. Look, dog, a hero never had one. Already took Malcolm and Martin, this is the last one. I beg your pardon, somebody pulling the fast one. Now we got a hero for hire and he a black one. And bullet hole hoodies is the fashion. We in Harlem's paradise, tell a captain that I'm about to trade the mic for a magnum. Give up my life for Trayvon to have one. Cheer, cause this is bulletproof love. And you already know what a bulletproof does. So you can take it from a bulletproof thug. The hood got his back, dog, bulletproof love. Blood thicker than mud. And who am I to judge if you get a gun in the club? Cause you already know what a bulletproof does. When the hood got your back, dog, bulletproof love.
Hello and welcome to the No Rules Podcast. Here again with you, I'm Aaron Hilton. As always, joined by Malik Smith.
What's up?
And right now, Malik, we're going to talk about something that's been sweeping the nation, sweeping social media, taking over for the new age in Marvel Comics and the new age in TV. Really, the way that people consume TV. Luke Cage, man,
it's crazy.
Oh yeah, nah, it's crazy. It's so hard. It's so black, man. I just love it. I love it. Now I've seen the whole series. Unapologetically, I watched 10 episodes on Saturday. Like I was up until 6 a.m.
Wait, did you stop because Netflix crashed? Or
no, I was very fortunate to not have Netflix crash. No, I never had any.
I don't think I've ever heard a show made Netflix crash. It makes me very happy that a show with a black leading character
shut it down.
Made Netflix crash.
Shut it down. That's what we do.
We shut it down. That's how excited people were about Luke Cage that they shut down Netflix because too many people watching Netflix at the same time. It's you know, for those who don't know who Luke Cage is, he's a superhero who has super strength, healing ability. You know, if you're into comic books, if you're into Marvel, then you kind of understand that whole realm. He's a hero from Harlem, born and raised in Harlem, and
he's actually born in South Carolina, like the lore or something. And you'll see some of it when you get into the show or some people that know the comic books. He's actually from Georgia. Oh, from an area down in Georgia, rural Georgia area, and he moves up to New York, fleeing from the people who have wrongly accused him of a crime that put him in jail. You know, not to give away too much. That's really just like the basis of it. That you can read that in any synopsis. So I'm not really giving too much away. Now you can look that up. You do your Googles. So
I'm gonna just let you take it away because I'm clearly telling. I'm just
it's just like it's just so shit. It's so pull up for 50 trying to say. I mean, but it's good whether he's from Harlem or not. Like it really, it's hard to not feel like he is Harlem because like that's just how infectious this is. That's the feel that you get. Now as a guy like. I'm not from New York. I don't claim to be. I don't even really particularly like New York that much. Like I gotta take it in doses. So I can't be. Super before you go take. I know I'm probably in the minority on that.
But you be there every weekend though.
But I live in Connecticut. You don't like it,
but you be there though.
Okay, but it's the lesser of two evils because I live in Connecticut. But it's one of those things where, this show it gives you the feel that you are in New York and that you are a part of that community in Harlem, which is decidedly black in the area, at least that this is taking place.
Definitely. I mean, one of the things I found, if you watch a lot of the Marvel shows, like Daredevil, obviously is on Netflix. Jessica Jones is also on Netflix, and then now Luke Cage. The one criticism I had about Daredevil, and if you're from New York, you understand this criticism, is that he is absolutely obsessed with Hell's Kitchen, which is literally like 10 blocks of space. He's like, I gotta protect Hell's Kitchen. But anything that falls outside of Hell's Kitchen, he's like, oh no.
He's blind, so
that's not my problem. So if you get shot in the Lower East Side, not my problem.
What street is this?
If you get clapped in Harlem,
oh, you on 23rd Street?
Whoa, 25th? Bro. You know what I'm saying? So now we finally, you know, us African Americans, you know, above Hell's Kitchen, have a superhero that can take care of us, and that's Luke Cage. It's really, really cool that Marvel has decided to go in a direction of understanding that, you know, the people that they consider to be superheroes may not necessarily be superheroes to everyone. Everyone may not be able to relate to them. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they decided to take a lesser known guy like Luke Cage and bring him to the big screen or the small screen, however you want to look at it, I think that it's a really, really dope venture that they kind of went into. And like we said, the fact that Netflix shut down because everybody was trying to watch this series at the same time on Saturday is also really, really cool. And, you know, I think the series has plenty of potential to grow so far. I mean, I've heard a lot of great things. You've obviously seen a lot of it.
No, I mean, it's amazing. It's one of those infectious shows. Like, I'm going to watch the whole series again. Like, it's going to be the first time I've actually watched a full TV season through more than once. I'm not a guy that rewatches a whole lot of stuff. But it was so good. I know I'm probably at some point, you know, whether it be this weekend or in a couple weeks, something, sit down with some of my other comic book nerd friends and watch it again, and get excited all over again about some of the same things, maybe some new things, some new Easter eggs, maybe I might have missed. Yeah. Some, you know, alert them to some things maybe they might have missed, and really just enjoy another show because it's so great. But for this specific thing, there's so many different ways that you can attack this subject, and one of the first ways that I wanted to attack it real quick was just the model that Marvel has started to follow with this, allowing more leeway for certain things. Certain stories can't be told in that PG-13, that's set for mass audience type of thing. I listened to that. Michael Coulter did a great interview with the Breakfast Club. You should YouTube it if you haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. Great interview. Where he talked about that, where it's like certain shows, certain movies, like with the Deadpool movie that was also rated R for Marvel, the first, you know, feature-length superhero movie that came out as rated R like that. And it's risky because PG-13, you know, you don't have to be 18 years old to go see it, so you get those billion-dollar box offices. Exactly. You know, if Iron Man is rated R, you know, it's not making $1 billion worldwide. It might make $100 million plus. But it's not getting to be that billion-dollar franchise that it has become. Same with the Avengers. It's got to be mass appeal.
It's funny that you say mass appeal. We'll get to that.
But for this, I just think, you know, they told the story right. You know what I'm saying? They don't hold anything back. You know, they have sex scenes, they have cursing, they say the N-word.
They say nigga. Like, we gonna say nigga here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They say nigga. Yeah.
What are you doing here, nigga?
I don't even like these niggas, man.
Well, no, I think it's funny, and it's good that you said that because obviously a lot of people have to. Some people feel that they have to have that filter, but if you want to live in the real world and really reflect the time that they're trying to portray in the show, you have to have things that signify that, hey, this is really how things happen. The first episode, there's a scene where it's just pretty much a bloodbath. I mean, you know, it's just a lot of shooting, a lot of killing. That's the kind of thing you really can't show on CBS or ABC. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't show it to the level that they show it. You can't say certain things that you would hear in the actual real world, in the streets, as they say, or the streets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Streets. Where you at. Yeah. So I think, like you said, that it's really great that Marvel has decided, you know, and they found a platform that they could put a show on and just be realistic. I think that's what draws most people, is when they find something that actually is real and it resonates with them. Right. I think that's what draws people, and when you do that, even though you're not shooting for the PG-13 rating, when you're just completely authentic, I think you still grab a huge audience that can say, hey, okay, I can watch this because it doesn't feel like I'm watching a superhero show. I'm watching a show about a guy who just happens to have superpowers.
Right, and that also speaks to the next level that you can go with this, and that goes to the Marvel versus DC and how Marvel has really been wiping the floor.
Oh my god,
with DC Comics, and it's unfair to people like Batman, who's one of my favorite superheroes of all time. But you know, I'm a Marvel head. Other than Batman, like really,
honestly, outside of the Dark Knight series, you know, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Returns. The rest of the movies, I'm sorry, Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. The rest of the movies that, and I don't even know if those were even like DC movies, you know, like under the DC umbrella.
Yeah,
like
no,
they were about the characters.
Nolan.
Yeah, right. They were about the characters who were DC characters.
Right.
But I don't even know if they were under the DC umbrella. Somebody can check me on that. Batman vs Superman really didn't hit for me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. I was asleep in the movie theater.
Trash. It was not. It wasn't. It was buildings blowing up for the sake of blowing up buildings. It was like seeing every.
They destroyed a lot of buildings.
It was like it got to the point of ridiculousness.
Like if you're the guy that had to like, or the company that had to rebuild the buildings that got destroyed in the last Superman movie, and then just to come back to get them just destroyed again, you just sitting there like, yo.
You be in line waiting for
We just fixed that. Like this is some bull.
Like how about you use that super high laser beam to fix this? You so damn strong.
Like you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm on vacation. I'm not fixing anything else.
You haven't laid one.
I don't care about Metropolis anymore.
It's like so you telling me you gonna save us from super aliens and all this other kind of crap. Break all our buildings. But your day job, you gonna work at a newspaper?
Right.
You better pick your ass up a brick.
You better. So yeah, that's pretty much what all the last couple of DC movies are about, which is buildings getting destroyed. Whereas Marvel they're really delving into the characters and you know understanding why this person is doing what they're doing. Because when you think about it, like the concept of being a superhero, it really doesn't really make any sense. You know, you're not running around in tights. You're putting your life on the line for people who probably won't really care about you. For saving their lives, so to speak. You know what I mean? In the general sense of being a superhero.
And some may even resent it.
Right, exactly. You're out fighting crime, so to speak. For what? Like, what's the cause? And that's typically the most difficult part for viewers to actually connect with. You know, like the whole idea that you're supposedly saving people's lives or doing something for the greater good, even though you won't get any credit for it, and you might actually, you know, in the real world, go to jail for it because you're just a vigilante.
Right.
And I think that's the best thing that Marvel has been able to do with a lot of their series is to find the why. You know what I mean? To find the why in terms of, you know, why you do this every time, why you put your life on the line. You know, what's your motivation? And they've done a pretty good job so far. I think Luke Cage, along with the why, it does a really good job of painting the what in terms of like what a villain is, who's the real villain here. There's a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of levels to it. I'm excited, man. I mean, I think and the fact that it brings in not just, you know, a white character, but you bring a black character and black experiences into it, right? Makes it all the more realistic.
I mean, you know, just perfect segue into the third and final way that you can really break this thing down without getting into too much of the spoilers and the details of the TV show.
No spoilers over it.
The thing that Marvel has done, especially with their TV shows, is give you a sense of place. And I think that you lose that a lot in some of these quote-unquote superhero movies because you look at Batman as like, he's in Gotham now, you know, Gotham is often used as a nickname for New York, but this is actually the name of it.
It's actually shot. They shot the last two Dark Knight movies in Chicago.
Yeah. So it was like, you know, they shot a couple in Chicago. I think they shot one in like Pittsburgh. That's why I had the Steelers in there or whatever.
Yeah.
So there have been a couple. Yeah, the very last one I think they shot in Pittsburgh. The one with Bane.
The scene with Bane
they shot in Pittsburgh. So you know, but these things really give you a sense of what you feel like you are in New York, you know, all the way down to the characters that they chose, the music, every episode in there. I don't know if you noticed is a Gangstar song, you know, a song
Shout out.
Gangstar. So I mean,
one of my favorite, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Premier. R.I.P. to Guru. You know what I'm saying? Mass Appeal, one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. As you I mean, and that's the cool thing. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do to relate to a particular audience.
Right.
And even if you don't know Gangstar, if you don't know who DJ Premier is, if you don't know who Guru is, if I just told you that every episode was named after a hip hop song, and you're a fan of hip hop in general, you know, new hip hop, old hip hop, whatever, you're gonna be like, oh, for real? Right. And then you're gonna Google that and be like, oh, that's named after so and so, and then you're gonna look that up. Like, that's just another way to engage your audience. And and I mean, it's a very small thing, but I think it's a very genius thing to do, to kind of bring the whole culture into play. You're not just saying it's a black guy set in Harlem and that's it. Right. You're bringing the whole culture into play, even down to the naming of every title. And to me, it shows that they're very much invested in connecting with the audience, and they know what their audience is, and that's young black people, and older black people, and black people in general.
And let's say, look, throughout the show, one of the officers that helps them out, she's black. A good majority, the fine, like, oh my god, she's fine. Oh my god, she is fine.
Yeah, God.
So you have her, you know, the superhero, obviously in this, Luke Cage, he's black. And
is he? Is he? Sure?
Yeah, he's pretty black. And then you've got, you know, all the way down to the villains in the show are black. So it's one of the things that you can't point. It's not like a black guy going against like the white supervillain, or, you know, the white hero going against like the only role they gave to the black guy was the villain. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, look, you're in Harlem. Like, this is not like there's more than one side to being black. This is not trying to make the black guy the good guy and the white guy the bad guy. Yeah. It touches on social issues. It touches on, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement. Luke Cage, it was strategically done. It was filmed in 2015, like around that, you know, time when you know the Trayvon Martin and everything was like really like all that kind of the Black Hoodie and everything was really like coming to a head even more so than it had been in the past. You know, so it's like you get to see a black superhero in that same kind of black hoodie, so that was kind of a nod to that.
Exactly. Yeah, he's specific. I think he said they had specific conversations about what the hoodie would symbolize, especially after the Trayvon Martin case.
Right, and they touch on this like stuff.
You see a nigga standing in front of you, across the street from a building named after one of our greatest heroes?
Yeah, a dead one.
You even know who Crispus Attucks was. A free black man. The first man to die for what became America.
Throughout the show, it's just like you have to watch. It's one of those things where you watch this and it couldn't be put out at a more perfect time, especially with this election, with things that are going on currently. I mean, this is something that was filmed over a year ago, and it's still hitting on issues that we're dealing with and talking about to this day, and dealing with them through the scope of this superhero movie. And it's really starting to show you like, look, man, like this is like, it makes you feel like you're in the real world, which is silly to say about a superhero TV show, that it feels real, but as realistic as you can make a Bulletproof Man feel, like a Bulletproof Man superhero show.
And you know what? Shout out to Martenzie Johnson, Rights for the Undefeated, my guy. Wrote a really good article about you know, him being a bulletproof black man. Right. In 2016, having a black superhero who can't be shot. You know what I mean? If you look at it from that standpoint, if they couldn't shoot black people down, you know what I mean? They'd be even more scared of you. Because you're bigger and you're faster, and according to them, I mean, they just think of us just like a bunch of big.
Just an extra bone in you.
We're all just LeBron James out here. You know what I mean? We're all 6'6", 260. But you know, from his standpoint, when you can't shoot him down, what do? You know, the first episode, he walks into the Chinese restaurant. They try to punch him in the face, and the dude breaks his hand. That's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer. The dude breaks his hand trying to punch him in the face, and I think the symbolism of like this idea that you can't physically stop him, even with bullets, just makes him even more dangerous. It's empowering. It's empowering to people who feel that they, you know, you got to see the images of people getting shot every day. You got to see the images of people getting, you know, brutalized every day, just taken down, and when you see a guy who can't, those things can't stop him, it makes you feel good, in an odd way. It just makes you feel good. It makes you feel like for the hour that you're watching it, that you're also Luke Cage, you're also invincible. And I mean, I think that's going to be the lasting effect of Luke Cage as a superhero. Hopefully.
Yes. No. I couldn't agree with you more. And it's great for an actor like Michael Coulter, who was just perfect in this role. He's the first of this role. Yeah. He is that guy that's putting a face on this. He's the Adam West of Luke Cage. You know what I mean? Like, this is.
You know what's funny? Every time I hear Adam West, I always think Family Guy. I don't even think Batman no more. Adam West.
Mayor West, what are you doing here?
I'm being a rascal and ringing people's doorbells and running away.
Then what are you still doing here?
It's my first house. I'm not very good at this.
Swanson, I want them found.
Mayor West, we have every available man looking for the Griffins. We just don't have any leads.
Not the Griffins, you moron! The rest of my light, bright pieces! My name isn't Adam Wee. Or is it? Who am I? What number did you dial? Don't ever call here again.
Man, because it's crazy that Adam West has become like the punchline and just such a funny guy on Family Guy, playing like, was it the mayor or whatever?
The mayor, yeah.
But it's just like that guy. He was the first ever Batman. If you don't know, the Biff Powell old TV show Batman, like that old school Batman where Robin was actually wearing tights and everything like that. Like that was Adam West, and it's funny to think, maybe 30, 40 years down the line, somebody's gonna be looking at what I'm thinking is, oh, cool, you see those crazy special effects, like, oh, this is awesome, seeing all these. This influence of it's gonna be super wild. It's gonna be trash.
Like, look at the blood splatter. It's not 3D. Like the blood's not even coming out the screen.
I don't even get the arterial spray. Like, what is this? Like, it's one of those. It's great. It's great to see. But again, I couldn't be more happy.
About the series, It's been a very black year. You know what I mean? We've had a lot of black.
And we got another one coming down the pipe. We got another one coming down the pipeline.
Movies.
We got another one because Coogler's got his paws on this Black Panther. Pun intended, and it is going to be a wonderful movie. Coogler so far 2 for 2 for me. Fruitvale Station.
Oh man,
and Creed.
Dude is untouchable. He's in the Hall of Fame right now.
Already.
Him and Michael B. Jordan together.
He's not even 30, bro.
It's like they're like saying like LeBron James and D Wade.
Yeah.
Like on that
they're the dynamic duo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you want to talk about superheroes? They are superheroes.
Yes,
they are really like superheroes.
Shout out to them. But check out Luke Cage. A lot of good stuff going on there. A lot of good eye candy, as we mentioned before.
Yeah. If you don't watch it for anything else, at least watch it for the aesthetic beauty of the TV show. Because there's just so much to love. There's so much to love.
Shout out to Alfred Woodard too.
Alfred Woodard coming
down. You know what I mean?
Alfred Woodard coming down, man. That's vintage, man. That's throwback right there. Alfred Woodard getting it done, man, and a great performance for her. Also, I shout out Michael Coulter a couple times. I would be remiss if I didn't shout out. I think it's Marshala. I don't know. I don't want to butcher his name.
He's like
Marshala Ali, like
actors.
That dude,
Straight
man, can act his ass off, bro. Act his ass off. It's like him.
He's killing the Netflix circuit too.
No, killing it,
House
man.
of Cards, which apparently he's not coming back to House of Cards.
Yeah, so that must be one of the things. Yeah.
But I mean, it started like he really like took off with House of Cards.
Right.
Playing Remy. Now he's taking off as a villain and
Remy Denton and House of Cards
Cage,
and Luke Cage. He plays one of the villains named Cottonmouth. And he's great. Yeah, don't call him Cottonmouth. But it's great. He's a great actor, and there's a lot of great actors, black and otherwise, throughout the TV show. I think, people, especially those who are fans of the Marvel comic universe and fans of Netflix Marvel TV shows, you will love this show. All I can say is don't watch it with a significant other. Like, don't start watching because there's nothing worse than someone like no, not even from that perspective. That too, but from the perspective, I was talking to my friend who's married. He started watching it with his wife, or she was about to go into work, and she was saying, don't start this show without him. I was like, And then he got like 6 episodes deep, and so now she's 6 episodes behind. Like, what's he gonna do? Wait? Like, I'm not waiting. I'll finish it. Like, don't start that.
I thought you were saying it from the other perspective because I saw a tweet and dude was like, dude said, I was watching Luke Cage and when he came on screen, my girl was like, He's like, guess I won't be watching that anymore. And then the Luke Cage Twitter account tweeted him back like,
your girl like coffee? Inside joke. Watch the show.
Watch the show. You'll get the joke.
Absolutely amazing. I'm signing off with this sweet Christmas, brother. Have a great day.
Peace.